What's going on, guys? Welcome to a mini episode of Renegade Home Theater. My name is Mike. Joining me is Kiona.
Hey guys, we're recording this on New Year's Day, so Happy New Year to everybody and hope 2021 is already off to a better start than last year.
Indeed. And joining us will be Jacob.
Hello. Also, knock on wood for this year to be a better one.
Yeah, I'm managing my expectations based on exactly what I said a year ago. But at least we're moving in somewhat the right direction. For this episode, we have been gifted the opportunity to review White Lie, a Canadian film that premiered at the 2019 Toronto International Film Festival.
It's from the before times.
From the before times, yes.
Back when they had these things called film festivals.
Yes.
Yeah, so this film stars Casey Roll as Katie Arneson, a university dance major whose falsified diagnosis and counterfeit fundraising have transformed her into a campus celebrity, surrounded by all her support group that she's always wanted. You know, her close friends, academic security, a caring girlfriend. Now, dependent upon a bursary for 6 students to maintain her ruse, Katie learns that the funding is in jeopardy unless she can provide copies of her medical records within the week. Boy, what a premise. Kiona, I'll start with you since you actually just recently rewatched this.
Yeah. So apparently this is based on some cases that really did occur maybe around 2012, because that's when they started kind of researching and writing the film, where people would go on crowdfunding sites such as GoFundMe and that sort of thing, and they would kind of like they would put forth this idea that they have cancer or terminal illness and solicit people for money for donations, and that's just insanely fascinating that people would stoop so low to con people out of their money for this stuff. It's unfortunately that is something that has become a byproduct, I think, of this age that we live in and social media, and how people can depict their lives as something which they are not. This movie, to me, is a really excellent examination of what it means to maintain that sort of deception. And I felt like Casey Roll, who freaking deserves an award for this performance. She was great in this movie. She
has received awards.
Yeah, she has actually for this film, and I think she should receive more, frankly. But she plays a character who is at times unsympathetic and at times someone that you can't help but empathize with, and I think it's due to her performance, and it's due to just the fact that she's so captivating as an on-screen performer. I first saw her. I haven't watched Hannibal, so I haven't seen her in that, but I've seen her in Arrow, and I thought she was very charming, and here she uses that charm to great effect. She's great in this film. Amber Anderson, who plays her girlfriend Jennifer, is also great in this movie. She has the role of the person who is the most compassionate and good-natured person in this film. I just, first of all, we're going to be talking spoilers about this movie throughout this whole episode. So just in case you're not aware of this, we're going to be talking about plot points and everything. So, it's open season. And I also want to mention a big thank you to Rock Salt Releasing for giving us the opportunity to watch this movie and to review it ahead of time. Because it's like the first time this has happened for us. So here at Renegade Pop Culture. So it's very cool.
Like I said, we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, so before I turn it over to you, Jacob, I'm just gonna say that I really, really, really like this movie. Um, it's one of my favorites that I've seen in a long time, actually, and it's just it's almost a neo noir in a way. It's like it's a character piece, but it's got that noirish kind of thriller sort of feel to it. The mood and everything, and just the way that they sort of show like the cityscape and the highway and like the cars going down it. I mean, it just reminded me of just like, like it's almost like an old school kind of noir movie. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. So Jacob, what are your thoughts?
This was a fascinating character piece, I thought, examining someone who is just that selfish and that committed to scamming people and like exploiting their sympathies, essentially, in places where don't deserve those sympathies. I think special mention should go to the music, the really sinister music.
Yes.
Whenever she carries on with her dark deeds, essentially. And what I found fascinating about this movie is that you only sympathize with her on a broad sense, because you do get a sense, like they do reveal why, when she was in a bad mental state. Her mom committed suicide, and you on a broad sense you do feel sorry for her, but and they even explained to her she was even manipulative back when she was in high school, because she used that as an excuse to stay home,
Yeah.
essentially. So this is not a new phenomenon for her in any way at all. So
Doesn't excuse what she did at
well,
all.
basically, it doesn't. I found this movie very refreshingly unmanipulative. I'm saying, like, it doesn't
Mhm.
really. It doesn't really try to tug on your heartstrings, or like it doesn't play a violin whenever they explain the sadness she felt, and like the relationship between her and her father that was strained because of that. And it like the movie never stops reminding you how much of an awful person she is. It's a reminder that some people are just bad. Some people, there is no sympathetic reason, to get behind why they're doing this. It's just the fact that some people just don't deserve your sympathy anymore. Like, she doesn't deserve our sympathy any more than she deserves the sympathy of the people who give her this money.
She's a pathological liar in this
Exactly.
film.
She's like a demon, and yet somehow we just can't help but get sucked into it, because we're just so drawn by how purely selfish she is. Just how, yeah,
It's her performance. It's Casey Roll's performance.
absolutely.
Mhm.
She totally sells it.
She sells it, and she just like, when you hear her actually say to Jennifer, when you hear Katie say to Jennifer in the film, she says, "Do you love me?" I just felt like
Mm.
that is it's, first of all, it's a very manipulative thing to say, and secondly, it's a desperate thing to say, especially at that point of the movie. And also, like, at the same time, it's like, who hasn't felt that sort of desperation? Like, I have.
You know what this movie
And
kind of reminds me of?
yeah,
It
what is it?
reminds me a little bit of Uncut Gems in that
Oh, wow.
she's
Hmm.
so like she's so far past the point of no return that
Yeah.
she had she's not just maintaining the lie. I mean, she's lying for money, sure, but she's past the point of no return
Mhm.
where, like, in order to pay for the people she's lying to, she has to keep lying.
Yeah.
So
It's
she's it's like she's trapped in her own lie.
exactly.
And the film is, it walks this really fine line between um sympathizing with a person who is clearly mentally unstable
Mhm.
after um after losing her mother to suicide. That would mess anyone up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
It doesn't mess people up to the point where they start. Most people doesn't mess them up to the point where they scam people. Others,
right? That's what makes her a villain protagonist. That like she has motivation, but that's only an explanation, not an excuse.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me. It's almost the snake eating its own tail, like where she's doing this to get money for herself. But the deeper and deeper she goes into the lie, to maintaining the lie, the more money she has to spend to do it.
She's digging her own grave, basically.
Yeah, she can't even maintain, like, she's not living it up. She's not living large, She's sitting there struggling to cobble together what money she can to just keep maintaining the lie. And she scams even more people out of their money to just do so, which is crazy to me. It's like, why don't you just stop?
I think a defining moment is when she approaches that doctor to give her the false documents. She goes to the hospital to get them from him, and the receptionist tells her, "Oh, well, he just had a family emergency. Okay, he's not available today." And so she leaves him this acidic phone message where it says, "Fuck you, I hate you, you lied to me, I don't care about your family, I hope your mother dies," or something. And sure enough, almost immediately afterwards, she finds out that his mother did die. That's a defining moment. Like, well, first of all, she's being a massive hypocrite and chewing him out for lying to her, basically, which he didn't even do that. Basically, it was just that was a defining moment. That just kind of tosses out, like she knows what it's like to lose a mother and to wish that upon someone. That's a defining.
I can tell that's the breaking point, but it's also not the first time she's called someone else out for lying. Once her dad posts on the event page that this is not true, my daughter is faking cancer. That's when shit really hits the fan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because she, and she gets that news when she's having dinner with Jennifer's family, with her girlfriend's family. And that just completely, she's at that point, she's at the point of desperation. She doesn't know what to do.
And in that scene where she basically tries to butter the family out by giving Jennifer's little brother a book and so trying to read it with him. Basically. Also, I like the little symbolism of like he's playing with Legos, and she says, "Oh, what are you building?" He says, "I'm building a staircase, building up, and going down." Subtle.
Yep. Did you catch the thing about it being on Yom Kippur, and the Jennifer's brother says to her that it's a day of atonement?
Oh.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
I like, for a split second once he said that, I thought that like that dinner table scene would have been like where the truth comes out, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, it plays with your expectations a bit, because there is no part where she comes clean or whatever, or at least not in the course of the movie. She doesn't cry in front of. She doesn't cry like in a video going, "Oh, it's been a ruse this whole time. I've been cheating you," or whatever. Like, she just
only inadvertently at the end.
Yeah.
Which I think which might be the only part of this film. Well, actually, there's two things that kept me from giving this my the sought after 5 out of 5. One thing I think I see where they were going with the ending. I just think for a story this otherwise pretty simple, I think they left the ending a little bit too ambiguous. Although who knows, maybe a more mainstream studio would have wrapped this up in a nice neat little bow.
I think that what the ending showed was clearly that Jennifer had caught on and that she was done.
Exactly. She was just okay. Like she just realized, like right when Katie asks her, like, "Will you marry me?" or whatever, he says, I won't be sick anymore. I'll tell you everything if you just say yes."
That was
And
it right there when she
yeah,
said, "I
and
won't
then
be sick anymore."
yeah, and then yeah, and then later she calls in for the interview on the radio station. Jennifer, she's watching Katie on this TV live as she's doing the interview in the recording booth, and she just gets up and says, "All right, that's it. I'm done wasting my time with this
Yeah.
chick." You know,
She sees this, she sees Katie just sitting there and smiling as she's
Yeah.
going through her story, once again getting to tell her pack of lies to this guy and getting her, getting more attention through the media.
Yeah.
I think what's kind of cool about that scene is like she's smiling almost like she knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
But the reason why she'll get away with it is because it's a radio show, so you don't see her face.
You don't see her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
subtle
that's
detail.
another interesting. Yeah, honestly, this movie is kind of like the anti-Clouds.
Interesting.
Yeah, Clouds. That was kind of a movie. That was a kind of a sweet, a little story about it was a biopic on a kid. I forgot his name. Zach something. What was his name?
I got it.
Okay, it's Zach Zobiek.
Yep.
Zach Zobiek. Yeah, it was like this. It was a sweet little inspiring movie about people actually. This kid was getting attention. People like reaching out to him and making sure his last few months were good. And here there's just no sympathy to be had for this girl. Like not even with her tragic. Like it's like a movie that shows like people reaching out to the worst kind of people, basically the people who use actual sickness.
I would feel much more sympathy if she was trying to actually get out of that,
but she doesn't.
But
I think the other thing that kind of made watching this movie uncomfortable is when it comes to cancer, that's a very touchy subject for me.
Yeah, same.
I lost both my grandparents to some form of cancer.
Sorry,
so
I'm sorry, Mac.
So to see a character who is clearly clearly taking advantage of people's sympathy, fortunately the way this movie is framed, we know that she's up to no good because that's the whole reason why her father's in this, who's played kind of excellently by Martin Donovan, who's a character actor you'd probably seen on a bunch of different TV shows.
Yep.
I first noticed him as one of the Time Masters from Legend of Tomorrow.
Yes, indeed.
But as I was saying, his character is kind of like the kind of the crucial chess piece that really exposes how rotten a human being that Katie is. Because without him, without him, we might have they might have portrayed Katie as a little too sympathetic, even though we know that what she's doing is wrong. So I'm glad that there's a little bit more going on than just I'm taking advantage of people with no consequences.
Absolutely. One of the things that I like about this movie is that it presents it without this sort of it doesn't moralize about what she's doing. It just presents it. And and you draw your own conclusions, which are pretty easy to draw. But I will say that I think because of Casey Roll's performance and because of like the way that it's framed, is that she's not a mustache twirling villain. You know, she does have a little bit of like, you can tell where this person is so damaged that they would, you know, that they're just emotionally and mentally screwed up. But at the
Right.
same time, it's you know, it's impossible, I think, to excuse any kind of, you know, the behavior that she's engaging in, because first, she's stealing from people. She's a con artist.
She,
But the thing is that I think too that she's kind of convinced herself that she is truthful.
she's gaslit herself.
Yeah.
You know,
I
you know
mean,
what else this reminds me of? Another movie that we talked about on the podcast
mhm.
back in October, The Lie, with
yeah.
starring Joey King.
Yeah.
I almost, if like this almost feels like a spiritual successor to that, because both characters are similarly motivated in how far they go with their deception.
Mhm.
But both also have like, they both walk that fine line of, I'm clearly mentally unstable, which explains their lying but doesn't excuse it.
Right.
Right.
Did you also get this whole thing where, like, you know, in Wonder Woman 84, where Antiope tells Diana in the beginning that nothing, you know, basically nothing good comes of lies, you know, the truth will out.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I wanted Antiope to suddenly jump into this movie and just smack Katie in the face.
Yep.
Sorry to say.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, though, like that, it reminded me of it in a way. And I don't know, Jacob, you were going to say something. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's okay. Yeah, Katie, if I have to kind of bend over backwards, in that I would kind of say that she does represent humanity at its most deceptive, in a way. Like, that's one thing that's kind of made me draw to her. It's like that's like the ugly, that's like the kind of depraved, just greed that dwells in all of us, almost. Like, that's, so it's kind of, in a way, it is almost cathartic to see that kind of branched out. Like, it's like you get, like, it's like she represents something that's a part, like something that's nasty and crooked inside all of us actually coming out. That's what kind of draws us, and kind of like how Uncut Gems, where Howard is just that kind of an addict, and it's like kind of an adrenaline addict. And, you know, it was kind of, that was what drew me into that movie, was because he represented that pure, just obsessed side. No, and that's what kind of like, that's what Katie kind of reminded me of in this movie.
Yeah, she definitely seems like someone with an addictive personality. In this case, her addiction is essentially getting away with murder.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's a very detailed person as well. Like, you can see that in terms of how she's meticulous. You know, the way that she's gone about presenting this lie to people, and the way
she comes
that
up with all these elaborate schemes.
Yeah,
like, she tries to cover her tracks as much as possible.
Yeah. And she does a mostly good job of it. I mean, most people who see her would feel really bad for her. Like, she, you know, like, she looks sick. She presents herself well. And she knows what it's like to be in front of people, because she's a dancer. You know what I mean? Like, she understands how to do that and how to draw people in, and I think she uses that to her advantage.
Yeah.
I kind of like how very specific they they build like her backstory. Like, she could have been any sort of student, but that she's specifically a dancer informs a lot about her personality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of Black Swan.
Or what was that other Blumhouse horror movie that we talked about? That was like a piano teacher.
Oh, Nocturne.
Nocturne. Did you
Yeah,
see a
I've
little bit of
seen-
that here as well, Mike?
A little bit. The only connection to that though I drew was the Dance Academy, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think the closest parallel of those Amazon films is The Lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, interesting film. It's a cautionary tale as well, because you can tell a white lie. You can tell. I know that they're being ironic with that title.
Yeah,
But
it's ironic because it's not a little white lie at all.
exactly. But like you can tell a white lie in your own life. Like who among us has not?
Yeah.
And you can see that snowball, and you can see that getting larger and larger, and you have to do more and more to maintain that lie. And so it's a lot of the time it's just, I mean, it's easier to tell the truth.
I get it. It's white as snow, a snowball.
Yeah.
I got it. I just got it.
That yeah,
Oh, yeah.
snowballs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm old, so I use old slang. But I mean, like, it's yeah, I thought it was a fascinating character study, and it's one of my favorite films that I've seen for the past, I will say for the past year, because I didn't see it at TI at TIFF. So, but like, yeah, I mean, I just love the performances, man. I was sucked into this movie. One odd thing I will say about the structure of it is that you kind of have to see the TIFF trailer that they released before watching the film.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know it's common practice for trailers to be deceiving, to put it lightly. But the trailer almost comes across as a prequel to the film in
It
question.
kind of is in a way.
Yeah.
Because
I wonder if that's
only in the trailer do we see Katie actually like shaving her head, and I love how Casey Roll actually shaved her head for this part.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
she's that committed. She
went for it.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. I mean, I'm fully on board with Casey Roll. Yeah, absolutely.
I hope she gets to she gets more lead roles after this, because
same here.
She can carry a movie all by herself.
Apparently,
I was so glad.
Yeah, apparently her first big starring role in a movie that she was featured in, not a starring role, but she was a minor role, but the first big movie she was in was actually Red Riding Hood from 2011.
Oh wow.
Remember that movie? It was like Twilight, but Little Red Riding Hood.
Yep.
She was also in Flicka Country Pride, a direct-to-video sequel to Flicka. That horse movie with Dakota Fanning. So obviously she's come a long way since that.
Yep.
And she's appeared in smaller roles in like The X-Files and R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour and iZombie.
She must have been really young for X-Files, because I don't remember her in that.
The recent season.
Oh, you're talking about okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the one with Robbie Amell.
Yeah. She was also in Tower Prep, Fringe, and Bond of Silence. And also Amber Anderson, who played Jennifer. She was actually in another kind of big movie last year, Emma. She was in that one.
Oh yeah.
I completely forgot about that. And Emma was one of my favorite movies from the previous year.
Yeah, she was in she was that girl Jane Fairfax who played the piano. And her first movie role was actually do you remember Your Highness, Kiona?
Yes.
Yeah, she was in that one. She played Maiden. And our next movie will be big movie will be The Souvenir Part 2.
Wow. So she has a resume. already happening there, which is great because I liked Amber Anderson in this movie a lot. I thought she had a lot of heavy lifting to do, really, because she had a lot of like she just had to sit there and just, you know, do a lot of facial acting.
Yeah.
I
Not
mean,
until the very not until like close to the end where she really belts out.
oh yeah, she was great. I mean, she just like you could see every emotion on her face, which was just yeah, gave a clinic, frankly.
I think she might be the most pure of heart character in the
She
film.
is. Yeah, she's the most good-natured, compassionate person in this whole movie, and and here's the thing though. It seemed like Katie at first was a little bit reluctant to take advantage of her. Like she was like, "I'm not taking your money," you know? Like
But no, that
that
little
was
devil on her shoulder just drew her
yeah.
to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it was like the last vestige of any kind of decency maybe that she had was that she wasn't going to take advantage of this person who really truly did love her. And
Yeah.
then, and then of course when push comes to shove in desperation, then she's like, give me your $2,000,
Yeah, jeez. Like it kind of makes you wonder how they became an item. It just kind of I'm just like, what did she say to her?
Tug on the
even?
heartstrings, man.
Yeah.
I
How did
mean, it's
she grow her in?
hard. It's hard to say no to a person who is sitting there and literally crying their eyes out in front of you, no matter if it's a lie or not. It's hard
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
want to, as an empathic human person, you want to sit there and you want to go to them. And she said it. She wanted to believe her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's so sad to see how taking advantage, she just takes advantage of her and just continues to do so. And and then at the end when she says, I won't be sick anymore, and that's just like it.
She
She literally said
there.
it.
Yeah, she just felt too comfortable to tell that was her own undoing.
And by the way, proposing to somebody in the hallway of a radio station.
Yeah.
And doing so
That ain't kosher.
clearly in a rush, like it was an impulse decision.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she just felt too comfortable in that environment. She was just after Jennifer tells her, "Okay, I'm coming to all of your operations and your
yeah."
Yeah.
And she's like, the only way to stop that is to just be like, okay, we're married now. We're officially tied. Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's almost exhausting, but it's like it was such a good movie, Like, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Let's talk about the music, Mike, because you wanted to say something.
Okay,
about
yes,
it.
I wanted to bring up the score by Lev Lewis. It's it kind of has this like chaotic, unstable nature that's pretty much like the score kind of like perfectly describes Katie without like giving too much exposition.
Yeah, it reflects her mental state and her emotional state.
As we talked off air, it reminds me a lot of Birdman's score with these sort of with this sort of like off tempo percussion, just sort of like hitting at random just like random points throughout the film.
Yeah,
it's just fascinating.
It's just to show her desperation and stuff. Whereas Birdman was completely his mental state, and also like the sounds of the city was as much a part of the soundtrack as as the percussive element was.
Yeah, it's definitely not the music you hear in a regular cancer movie.
It also reminded me of. Did you guys remember this movie called Rachel Getting Married with Anne Hathaway?
It rings a bell.
Yeah, I've certainly heard of it.
Yeah, it reminds me of that because that also had music. That movie was interesting in that it had the music was being done by the musician himself and a bunch of I'm guessing like his fellow musicians who were on the set who were actually in the movie, and a lot of the score is organic inside the film. Like you're hearing them practice for the wedding, and that's the score. So that was interesting to me. And there's just like there's this violin sort of solo that they have on that score that reminded me a lot of White Lie. When I was watching White Lie, it reminded me of that. So
It's funny. Rachel Getting Married was another film that that opened at TIFF back in 2008. Wow, that was
yeah,
pretty much an eternity ago.
I love that movie, man. That movie is just that movie never fails to hit me in the right where I live. So, yeah. This movie, I would say, is kind of up there. I mean, for a smaller little Canadian film, it's great. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wonder
it's very
how it'll play on rewatches.
Mhm.
Because it seems like one of those movies that like as you watch like 3 or 4 times, you start to pick up more details, things you missed the first time.
Yeah, there are definite layers to it.
Yeah. Definitely kudos to its directors,
Mhm.
Yana Lewis and Calvin Thomas.
Mhm. Yes.
They're the writers and directors. They've also done some other smaller indie films as well. Like, let's see what we got here. They also did
Amy
Spice It
George,
Up, Yacht Spoke Cure, and Spice It Up.
Yep.
Have you guys seen any of those? Because I haven't.
I
Never even
haven't-
heard of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen them either. I'm gonna try to look them up once.
This
Yeah,
is their
once we
first
finish this.
time. I think I read an interview where they said this is their first time shooting on 35 millimeter.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is like their first real official like studio film, kind of thing. But they did a really good job. I think they definitely are up and coming filmmakers.
I hope they have they'll probably have a promising future ahead of them. I'm excited to see what's in store from them.
Kevin Feige is going to be like, okay, here
Oh,
we go.
yeah.
Here we
Yeah.
go for our X-Men reboot. Let's have these two guys do it.
Yeah, definitely be an interesting take.
I'm certainly excited to see what their next film is going to be.
Yeah,
But
same here.
given the state of things, who knows?
Who knows what any next film is going to be at this point?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, but you know what though? I mean, these guys are they have the potential to really to do a lot of great things, I think, in the world of film. So I hope they get the chance. I hope 2021 a lot of people have more opportunity to go out there and make their films and do what they love.
Yes, indeed.
Can we talk about that scene, that sort of menacing scene kind of with the corrupt doctor guy?
Oh,
Yeah.
what's his name? Jabari Jordan.
There was him, but there was also the other scene with the other guy where Owen in the car tells Katie not to bother him with all her questions.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
And
The guy who
then she proceeds to ask all these questions anyway.
I was half expecting that like the dude who was like the doctor in Batman 89 who fixed up the Joker to show up. Like I was do you understand, Mr. Napier?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, oh my god, man. I was expecting like this like mob doctor guy.
Yeah.
But you
And
know
then
what though? I mean, he was really like you could tell this was not this dude's first rodeo. Like this guy has been falsifying medical documents for his whole career.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are people in the world who I guess are okay with that. Like they're okay with living that lie and just continuing on because you know what he's like by the way, today's going to cost you 5,000, because you're buying my silence.
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
I was like, whoa, dude.
he's exploiting her as well, so she knows how it feels.
Oh yeah, I mean, she just like she was throwing away money. It was to the point where, she couldn't even save any of that money. She was conning out of people.
Yeah.
I think that's where my Uncut Gems comparison formed.
Yeah.
Because this was the point where like where the doctor was basically telling her, "Oh yeah, two can play at that game, bitch."
Yeah, exactly. Yep, she gets a taste of her own medicine.
True.
Yeah.
What do they call that Greek symbol? I think it's like a
Alpha?
Greek symbol. Ouroboros or something?
Oh yeah, no, the Jungian, I think it's
The snake eating its own
Ouroboros.
tail.
I know what you're talking about.
That's the Ouroboros.
Yeah, I was
that
like,
Greek?
that could have been that. This could have been the film with that title, man. Like
Yeah.
she was just, that's what it felt like to me. That's what a white lie is. It's that's why I think it's fascinating.
They always start as a white lie, but
yeah,
like the more you add onto it, the like the bigger it gets.
Yeah, like what the blue fairy said to Pinocchio. It's like the more the like it just grows and grows until it's as plain as the nose on your face.
Tom Hanks gonna play Geppetto in that movie. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just made me think of that. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't, like, I'm kind of speechless at this point because I pretty much said what I think about the movie. But like, yeah, I love this movie. I think for me, it's pretty much a 9 out of 10 for me.
I would say 8 for me.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere between like a 7 and 7.5. It's good. I definitely recommend it. I just have to put a trigger warning in there for those who are sensitive to cancer. And
definitely.
If like the core premise of this film is too much for you, then I completely get it. But just from a filmmaking and acting perspective, I think this is one that that you should definitely check out when it premieres on, I guess, all digital platforms on January 5th.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which will be probably the day that this gets released.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's the first time I get to say that about a movie I'm reviewing. Now I know what it feels great.
It's awakening our inner Roger Ebert.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're on the right path.
Yeah,
so
man.
Before we wrap things up, first of all, thank you guys for joining.
Oh, no problem.
We will probably do more mini reviews in the future.
I think if we ever do a year in review, I mean, I'm gonna put this movie on that list, even though it's technically a 2021 release. But I don't know how we'll work that. But yeah, are we gonna do a year in review show, you guys?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
Okay. But for now, Jacob, where can everyone find you online?
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter. I am Jacob Crable. That's KREHBIEL. And you can also find me in the Renegade Pop Culture Facebook group.
And Kiona?
Well, you can find me on renegadepopculture.com. Pretty much all the show notes are written by me, except for when Josh helps me out with them on a lot of the animation podcasts. And also you've written, I know you've written a couple of articles as well, Mike. So, and Jacob as well. You've written all the MCU articles, Jacob.
Yeah, I'll see if I'll have the energy to go back to those.
Yeah. Or if not, maybe we can try something different with them. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, renegadepopculture.com for all your show notes, articles, podcasts are up on there too. On Twitter, I am at Kiona Tang. That's KeonaTang. Also at Ren Pop Culture is the official Renegade Pop Culture Twitter account. On Facebook, you got the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/RPC42 in case you guys want to join. And on Instagram, I am Neoplasmic24. So there you go.
Awesome. And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Captain K42. Check out all my quick thought reviews on letterboxd.com/Coach K42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. that'll do it for this installment of the Renegade Home Theater. We will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Oh, and special thanks to Rock Salt Releasing one more time for allowing us to review this movie, giving us the opportunity to do so.
Oh,
Thanks.
yes. Big thanks to Rock Salt for that.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
All right.
Peace
See you
out.
guys.